The fearsome delinquent group known as the Kazama Party. First, fatty fat ass Yokoshima, not afraid to wear stripes even though he is severely overweight. Second, Long Mountain Nakayama. His length is so impressively above the national average, Japan, his nickname has to be said in English. And lastly, the leader.
Kazama Kenji!
Our story begins with our three heroes deciding they want to borrow some games from the Game Creation Club after noticing its sign. Upon opening the door, they find that the club room is kind of sort of on fire, so they actually step up and put out the fire. Good job, guys! As Kazama turns around to celebrate their heroic deed, he can't help but notice that Yokoshima has been electrocuted by a teacher holding a stun gun, and Nakajima is quite literally getting waterboarded. Kazama, obviously being a bit shocked, is explained the current situation by the members of the Game Creation Club. You see, the members of this club are actually all superhuman. The teaching advisor to the club is an electric type and can use the powers of electricity to fell her enemies. Sakura is a water type who can control water. Chitose is an earth type who can control the earth to protect her friends from any harm. And the club president Roka is a fire type who unites a team to face off against the forces of evil. Yeah, okay, everything I just said is total bullshit. They aren't really some elemental superhumans at all. The teacher just has a stun gun which he uses to electrocute students. Sakura just carries around a water bottle at all times. Chitose likes playing in the sandbox and refuses to wash her hands. And Roka just plays with fireworks indoors. Which incidentally happens to be why there was a fire to begin with. Kazama, being the only real rational character in this entire show, analyzes the current situation and decides it's time to get the fuck out of there. But he is promptly chased by these crazy high school girls. For what reason, you ask? They want my mans to join their club, because if they don't find someone soon, the entire club will be disbanded. Roka reveals herself to not actually be a fire type, but a dark type. She traps Kazama in a void of infinite darkness, which is really just a couple of curtains conveniently strung up in the exact hallway Kazama would run through. Kazama, being a total gigachat, decides that if he can't escape, he will just have to move forward like a true man would. He takes his leap of faith and promptly jumps out of the window by accident. Yeah, my man's luck really isn't on the high side, like ever, but no worries, Roka is here to save the day. She catches Kazama and saves him from falling to his doom at the cost of her ovaries and chance of ever getting children ever again. Kazama is then promptly guilt-tripped into joining their club, and thus begins Kazama's retarded adventures surrounded by weirdos and hot anime babes. Which might sound worse than it actually is, because, you know, it does have the hot anime babes tag to it. D-frag is one of those anime and manga that I will never ever tire of. I have seen the anime like at least 8 times and I've read the manga at least twice as many times. The show is filled to the brim with just random humor, snide comebacks, and just truly enjoyable chaos. The characters in D-frag are also funny as hell. We already know some of their names, but allow me to, introduce them a little bit more. Let's start with the club president Roka. As we saw before, she claims to be a fire type, but in actuality she is a dark type. She is also the secret boss of the school, which completely crushes Kazama's will to live, for reasons I'm sure you can understand. He wants to be the strongest, and it turns out the actual strongest is this fucking 3'4" lolly fucking weirdo, and yeah, I understand why that kind of like crushes his motivation of, being alive. But moving on, Sakura is the water type, but she turns out to have a secondary little sister typing as well. She competes with Kazama's actual little sister Noe, much to her annoyance. Her hobbies are drinking water, playing with water, waterboarding people, and Kazama. Chitose is your local ruffian who likes to play in sandboxes and just so happens to also be the student council president. She always carries some pocket sand to blind her enemies and has shown a distaste for washing her hands after getting out of the sandbox. The teacher is just simply a disgrace to her profession, and she should probably apologize to every single teacher out there. We haven't seen this last before, but meet Tako. Tako is the captain of the actual official game club. The one Kazama has been abducted into is an offshoot Roka created after she had a little bit of a falling out with Tako and left the official game club. Tako likes games, Kazama, and finally Kazama. The entire premise of this show is that Kazama just gets strung around and roped into the crazy antics that everyone at this school gets into, because if you thought that only the main cast was weird, oh hell no, son. Every single character in this show seems to have room temperature IQ except for Kazama. This school has gangs like the 24 Nocturnal Baldies, for crying out loud. This entire show is just one massive fever dream of a shit show, and I freaking love it. The people who wrote this show, they must have been on the rankest bit of kush just to have ever existed. And probably some different, like, weird offshoots of cocaine, because a normal, rational person would not be able to think of the bullshit that goes on in this show. But don't get me wrong, Kazama does not have only bad luck. He also pulls hella bitches. Just taking a look at this overly complicated relationship graph I crafted just for this video shows you that Kazama has unlocked Ultra Instinct. D-frag is the ideal anime and manga for anyone who enjoys to just laugh their ass off the entire time. You like romance? D-frag. You like comedy? D-frag. You like leaking sensitive government intel to foreign countries? D-frag.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
They literally have everything bundled into one package of pure chaos and discord. They have the romance stuff, they have the epic anime battles, they have the random side characters who can somehow sense ki, which makes this canon in the Dragon Ball universe if you ask me. But you know, who am I? Hell, they even have a tournament arc. They literally have everything you could ever wish for. I hope that I've just been able to, you know, entertain you with today's video. I just really felt that I wanted to talk about this show, so I just said fuck it and went for it. It's a nice little change of pace as well for me. So, you know, let me know in the comments down below if you have seen D-frag, you know, before, and, you know, what did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you think the humor was too over the top? Did you think it sucked? Which is also a valid opinion. Just because I like it doesn't mean that everybody else should. But, you know, I do hope that a lot of people who haven't seen the show will be able to, you know, give it a shot and experience, hopefully, the same amounts of joy I had while watching it for themselves. With that being said, I have been forced to concentrate for more than 5 minutes, so I am mentally exhausted and will end this video right about now. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more similar content in the future, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon to never miss another video ever again. If you want to support me in another way, I recently set up a channel membership option. It's only $5 a month, but please only spend your money on supporting me if you can actually miss it. Things are expensive enough nowadays, and I really don't want people to get in monetary issues because of me. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.